Most people think budgeting is the solution, but here's the truth: budgeting fails. Not sometimes, not for a few people, for most people. Every single month. And it's not because they are lazy, it's not because they lack discipline, it's because the system itself is broken. You start with good intentions. You open a spreadsheet, you write numbers, you create categories: food, bills, savings. Everything looks clean, everything feels under control. For a moment, it feels like you finally figured it out. And then life happens. Something unexpected, a change in mood, a long day, a small reward, and suddenly you're off track again. And the worst part, you feel like it's your fault, like you failed, like you just don't have enough discipline. But that's not true. The problem is not you. The problem is how budgeting is designed. Budgeting assumes something unrealistic, that your behavior will follow your plan. But in reality, your behavior follows your emotions, and your emotions change every day. That's the first flaw. Rigid plans don't work with flexible humans. A budget is fixed, but your life isn't. Some days you feel motivated. Some days you feel tired. Some days you just want relief. And in those moments, you don't follow the plan, you follow the feeling. That's why budgeting breaks. Not because you're weak, but because the system ignores how humans actually behave. There's another problem. Budgets create pressure. They turn money into rules, limits, restrictions. And when people feel restricted, they push back, even against themselves. You say, I can't spend this. And your brain hears, I'm missing out. And suddenly, you want it even more. That's not lack of discipline, that's psychology. The more you try to control every detail, the more resistance you create. And eventually, you break your own system. Not once, but again and again. And over time, you stop trusting yourself. You stop trying. Because every attempt feels like failure. But here's what most people don't realize: budgeting fails not because it's too simple, but because it's too rigid. It tries to control everything instead of guiding behavior. So, what actually works? Not a stricter budget, not more discipline, something simpler, something more flexible. Instead of controlling every dollar, focus on direction. Three simple categories: what you need, what you want, and what builds your future. That's it. No complicated systems, no endless tracking, just awareness and gentle structure. You're not trying to be perfect, you're trying to stay aware. Because awareness changes behavior without pressure, without resistance. When you know where your money is going, you start making better decisions naturally. Not because you have to, but because it makes sense. And that's the difference. Budgets force behavior, awareness guides behavior, and guidance always works better than force. If budgeting never worked for you, it doesn't mean you failed. It means the system didn't fit you. And now you know why. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a system that works with you, not against you, something simple, flexible, real. Because money is not just numbers, it's behavior, it's emotion, it's patterns. And once you understand that, everything changes. Subscribe if you want simple, honest clarity about money that actually works.